Uh, Please briefly introduce yourself and what drew you to traditional yoga studio?
Hello, I'm Lavanya Mohan. I'm 48 years old. I work for a company called Cognizant Technologies. I also have my own small business called Jeep Goodness and Jeep Cafe. I'm a mother of two teenage boys, and I'm also married, and I have my parents to take care of as well. So amidst all of these priorities and everyday hustle, for me yoga is an essential part of my routine. I started actually my yoga journey after the birth of my second child. That was almost about 14 years, 13 years back. And I've been with traditional yoga studio for almost all the 13, 14 years. My yoga journey has been only with traditional yoga studio. I trust the teachers that who are there, especially Dharmendra Soni ji. And I started because after my pregnancy, I had put on a lot of weight. And despite diet and other considerations, my weight was not losing. So I started on the journey then, and I have continued through the journey. And like I said, yoga is an essential part of my daily routine. Without yoga, my day seems very incomplete. So I was looking for a solve for my weight issues as well as other post-pregnancy issues. And I came across in the Rainbow Drive Clubhouse, that's where we stay, a notice from Traditional Yoga Studio. Initially, I was like, this is too much, I cannot do this, this is very strict, all of that, but I realized the effect that it had. Within a month, I was able to see a lot of changes in my body, the way I communicate, the way I handle my work and other things. And that allowed me to sustain. So I realized what yoga does, right? Now, from traditional yoga studio, what I also realized over my years, and I've heard this many times from people, is that they have injuries from yoga, yoga doesn't work for them for weight loss and so on. For me, always yoga works, right? And I realized it's not because of yoga, it's because of Sir. Okay, so because of Sir and his teaching and making sure that he takes the students along in a manner that works for their lifestyle, he gently makes sure that their goals are achieved. All of that is possible because of Sir's wisdom and his understanding of the students' need and making sure that the students' goals are achieved, whatever that might be, right? Well-being, therapy, weight loss, whatever that you're going through in that phase of life, he is able to handle that. So that built a confidence in me and my family, my children, my husband, all of them are followers of Traditional Yoga Studio. We genuinely recommend Soni Sir and Traditional Yoga Studio to all my cousins, my friends, whoever comes to me, asks me for any yoga recommendation, I only recommend Traditional Yoga Studio.
So, what your transformative experience? What inspired you to start your yogic journey? And can you share a memorable transformative experience you had through yoga?
Yeah, so there have been, like I said, 13 years is more than a decade. So I have been associated with yoga many, many years, and it has helped me through life and life's instance. One, like I said, for therapy, any issues in my body, first thing I do is I dial Soni Sir to understand what's happening, what should I do, right? And that's not only for me, but for my family as well. That is one. My mom also, with her rheumatoid arthritis, she follows Soni Sir's guidance as well as yoga. And she has seen a lot of improvement. That is one. Second, for handling life, daily life events. For example, I have a critical meeting. I make sure I do my yoga. The reason is it could be 15 minutes, it could be whatever it is. That gives me a lot of confidence and poise to handle the meetings or whatever that I'm worried about for that moment. Third, also I have seen that I remember I was going through this exam and I was asking Sir, what should I do for making sure I pass this exam well or handle this exam, because it was an online exam for 3 hours and I needed to make sure my stomach was light but also had the energy. And sir advised me to have curd with sugar. I still remember that, and I followed it, and I cleared the exam with flying colors. So it's not only therapy, but even to handle small situations that you might have in your daily life, that I use yoga and Sony sir's advice.
How has yoga impacted you physically, mentally, or emotionally?
So, I'm a person, I think maybe during my pregnancy and around that, I've known that I've had a lot of mood fluctuations. I would be happy 1 minute and very upset the next minute. And both the pregnancies, I remember, like, I would really be upset because of that. A big change for me was following yoga. That helped me to stabilize my moods. And the best person to attest for this is my husband. Right, he lives with me daily. So he said this has, he's like, you've not done yoga, go do yoga, right? Like that's literally what he says, right? So I'm a calmer person. I'm able to handle life situations as it comes. And my self-awareness has really sharpened and improved. It could be changes in my body and what I need to do hence, or it could be things like how I react to situations. For example, my awareness around if I'm really angry, and I'm not a person who's known to be angry, I really make sure then that something calms me down, right? I've learned pranayama from sir, I've learned meditation from sir, I've learned mudras from sir. All these are many tools that help me see through the day in and day out of my life, right? So thank you, sir.
About the program, you joined the lifestyle program. How did you find the program helped you or influenced your day-to-day habits and your choices?
So what I've seen is that, and I've done, at least 4-5 times the lifestyle programs, right? And it's been, always very. Of course, there is weight loss. Of course, there is inch loss, right? But more and more, it's an unpeeling of understanding who I am as a person. For me, I'm able to bring in how I react to situations, and that understanding happens through lifestyle programs. It's a holistic program. Like I said, the benefits visible are more the weight loss and the inch loss and glow on your face and all of that. But that is, that those are physical differences that people can see, and they will definitely comment on. But beyond the physical differences, the mental differences, the inner differences, those stay on forever. One of the things that I would like to say is that definitely the lifestyle programs are like a booster package. They turbocharge your, journey into well-being. But definitely the ongoing practices that Sir teaches sustains it. Right? So if you want to manage the weight that you've lost, or if you want to manage the flexibility you've built, the ongoing practice of yoga along with food choices, right? I've become more of a vegetarian. I used to be a non-vegetarian when I started my, yoga practices. Now I'm a strict vegetarian, and that was, I think, I always attribute that to yoga. And that has made me choose food that is simpler to digest, given our hectic lifestyle. It's a choice. I've not made this because of religion or because of any other reason. It's a choice. I just find it works better for me to have simple vegetarian food. So small things like this, I see that the lifestyle program teaches you from a holistic perspective how to manage your life ongoingly.
Benefits you experience through yoga in the sense of stress or flexibility or energy, and what changes you noticed after the program about your overall look, awareness, self-confidence?
So from yoga, I really was able to discover more my limits of my physical body. I didn't know I was flexible. It was Sir who introduced me slowly to the, how I can do most poses, yoga asanas effortlessly. So I was able to discover my body better because of the yoga way, as well as Sony sir's way of guiding me. That is one. Two, over the years, it's not that I always do lifestyle or whatever, but I've been able to sustain my weight more or less, and also my looks in terms of there is a calmness and a glow, and I think a youth and vitality that only comes when you do yoga. And there are many things, right, that people say, hey, if this is not working, why don't you ask your Sony sir to fix this for you, right? Like, it's almost like he's my go-to doctor, who helps me do this. So I'm very confident about how I'm able to come across as a person. My posture, my overall, the way I communicate everything, thanks to yoga and Sony sir.
How did you start practicing yoga with Swami sir?
So, there was an advertisement for yoga in Rainbow Drive, and I've never done yoga before. This was the first time, but it talked about weight loss and general well-being, and that kind of attracted to me. The last time in my first pregnancy, how I had lost weight was through gymming, through dieting, and I knew it would be very intense. I didn't want to go through such an intense process, so I said, hey, why don't I try in this yoga? And it was a group of 4 or 5 of us who started doing yoga in the Rainbow Drive Clubhouse. All of us saw immense benefits in terms of weight loss, our general well-being, in terms of energy levels going up, more positive attitude during those 4 or 5 months. And from there on, sir also offered regular yoga classes. That was open to a lot more people who had not only gone through the therapy classes. What I noticed during those 4 or 5 classes was during those regular classes is how I should continue my journey of yoga, right? Normally people say eat some light food before you start your gym. When I did the same for my yoga, it didn't work well for me. So I realized then I have to keep my stomach extremely light, to not even eating anything, for me to do my yoga practices. And I prefer to do my yoga practices in the morning versus in the evenings or any other time. These are small nuances and subtle differences that, the practices teach you. And more importantly, Sony sir teaches you, right? And there are a couple of things I want to call out from those practices. He taught us the right way to breathe. Initially, the inhale and keep your stomach out. Okay, I would not like it at all. I would be like, inhale, it's not happening like this. Why is he pushing me on this? And he said this is the right way to do it. And I struggled, and then I started doing it naturally. It became more natural, right? Because initially it was tough to understand that as I inhale, I have to loosen my stomach, and as I exhale, I have to, hold my stomach and exhale out, right? Nobody teaches you how to breathe, for example. You just however you been breathing, you just assume that's the way to breathe. Okay, so this, for me, even small things like this, made a huge difference in the way I learned yoga and practiced yoga. The other thing I follow is right-left, which is, eat when my right breathing is dominant versus drink when my left breathing is, drink water when my left breathing. And that again helps maintain my energy levels, my moods, and I would know, instantly what's going to happen in my body. The moment I see energy levels drop, I would know it's because I'm breathing left. So it brings in a more awareness around this. So all of these subtle practices that you might be reading in ancient scripts, or maybe now Instagram influencers some of them are talking about it. All this I learned some 15 years back with Sony sir. So that allowed me to continue the practice with Sony sir and build the confidence and trust that I have in him. Second, also the group of friends that I started the yoga journey with, we are still in touch. One of them went to become a yoga teacher thanks to Soni sir's inspiration. All of us have been, all of us agree that Soni sir has been a really a great influence on our yogic journey as well as in our lifestyles.
Suggestion for improving the program or services traditional yoga studio offers.
So, Soni sir is to open more branches globally. More people need to be aware of. I think yoga is very popular now, right? That I don't think we need to talk about yoga, but people look at yoga as asanas, headstand, handstand, the subtler aspect of how it helps your life, how it helps your longevity, how it helps maintain youth, vitality, and energy. Those I think will come, when they start living a yogic life, right? And that I think it is essential that given so many people doing many things in life, it's really important that Soni sir and Traditional Yoga Studio continues globally. That would be my suggestion for how we take this forward. Yeah.
Thank you. Is there any particular incident or movement you felt it amazing with Soni sir?
So there was a period in my career when I had to go to US almost every month, and obviously that time we were doing a lot of physical classes, and first change in time zone, then changes in diet. It was very difficult to follow more vegetarian diet, and all of that, right, would take a toll on my body. So so at that point I remember asking Soni sir, what are the tips, right? What are 3 or 4 things I should do, before getting out of the hotel room, right? And staying away from family with very less mindfulness on the food. So he would say at that point, do your chakrasana, do your camel pose. Make sure you're able to do these for 2-3 minutes, and then you are set, right? So I've been able to follow that, and that really made a difference for me to adjust very effortlessly, be it in India, be it in US, because I was traveling back and forth. I was able to adjust seamlessly to the time zone difference, to the diet difference, to the weather difference, and all of that. So I think it's small practices like this and advices which, if you inculcate back into your life, it makes a huge difference, right? Rather than popping a pill or being dependent on something else which is external, it's all in your control. That I think is the most important difference for me. It's all, I really don't need much to do my yoga. I don't need much. It's all my well-being is in my hand, right? That's the beauty of yoga and Soni sir's advices.
And how will you mention here about medication, from medication to zero medication?
So, like I said, I've been doing yoga now for almost 14 years, and it's not that my life is very simple. There are every day is a new adventure in my life. I have a very demanding work. I have a small and a medium business which is growing. I have teenage children and aged parents, and a husband who has an equally demanding lifestyle. So it's really, for me, to be at the center of everything. I need to be on top of my lifestyle and my well-being, so that I can be that source of energy and vitality for not only my family but my friends and my community. What I realized is, before I started my yoga, I used to I would fall sick almost on a monthly basis. I would be, and it would be a lot of cold. I would need to take this medicine called Cold Act. It would be 2-3 days of continuous headache, cold, and sometimes fever. And this was a monthly routine that I knew I had to have these medicines. Touch wood, since I have started my yoga, I have not gone back to Cold Act. I don't even know where. I've not bought it. Last 14 years, I've not bought those medicines. I've been able to manage my lifestyle and all my things without medications, and slowly build confidence that my body can heal itself. And that's the energy that yoga will teach you, that your body can heal yourself, and you can bring that to neutral state always.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.